Country music, the past and present. These are some of the names country music used to be referred to as well as some quotes from important country music artists such as Dolly Parton and Johnny Cash. One of my favorite quotes is from Dolly when she says it's in my Smoky Mountain DNA. Country music at the time of its origins in the 1920s was a genre distinguishable from folk music, not so much by its sound as by the commercial intentions of the businessmen who made the records. Over the years, country music has evolved and diversified, but its essence of storytelling and connection to everyday life remains at its core. The first big people of country music was the Carters, the Stonemans, and Jimmie Rodgers. Jimmie Rodgers, also known as the Singing Brakeman, America's Blue Yodeler, and the father of country music, was one of the pioneers of country music. He was known for his unique blend of blues, folk, and traditional country styles, mountain music, and yodel with a country twang. His yodeling techniques and heartfelt lyrics set him apart from other artists. He was the first person to be inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame. He wasn't everyone's cup of tea. He was more loved for his personality and charisma than his music. He became famous after he recorded his voice for Victor Records with Ralph Peer. The Carter family was one of the first groups to popularize country music on a national level. Their music had profound influence on bluegrass, southern gospel, pop, and rock. Alvin Pleasant Delaney Carter grew up in Scott County, Virginia, where his family owned a farm. His father was a well-respected banjo player, and his mother sang old folk ballads. AP's uncle, Flanders Bay, taught singing schools for local churches, as well as taught AP how to read old shaped note songbooks. These books provided many gospel songs for the Carter repertoire. The group was connected by Sarah, who was AP's wife and Maybelle's cousin. Maybelle was also married to AP's younger brother, Ezra. At the age of 12, Maybelle Addington had begun playing the guitar and developed a certain style of playing. Sarah sang lead vocals and played rhythm guitar. Mabel sang harmony and played lead guitar. Shockingly, AP did not perform at all in some songs, but when he did, he sang harmony and background vocals, occasionally being lead. They became famous when the trio traveled to Bristol, Tennessee to make their first record for Victor producer Ralph Peer. They were the first family to be inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame. Now, the Stonemans are a predominant family known for their contributions to country, bluegrass, and folk music. They gained popularity in the mid-20th century and left a long-lasting impact on the music industry. It was Ernest Stoneman that encouraged Ralph Peer to set up the 1927 Bristol Sessions. The Stoneman family was the first to be recorded over the 2-week period. Ernest Stoneman was recording before the Bristol Sessions. He began recording in 1924 and by 1927 had produced over 100 sides for Victor and other labels. The Stoneman act featured several of his children as well as his wife. Rita Forrester's grandparents helped change the face of music along with her great-aunt Maybelle. In honor of AP, Sarah, and Maybelle, their future family created the Carter Family Fold. This is a small nonprofit arts organization. The memorial site used to only be a singular small building, which got overcrowded fast with bustling folks, so they built a larger building next to it. Now the small building became solely a museum with old pictures and records, while the big one is where everyone hangs out. All is welcome. Every Saturday, people will go down to the Carter Family Fold and dance with live music provided by community and family. Here's what a typical Saturday looks like. Ralph Peer was a predominant record producer in the early 20th century. He is best known for recording the Bristol Sessions in 1927, where he captured the performances of artists like the Carter family and Jimmie Rodgers. Peer was particularly adept at finding, marketing, and distributing music that would sell well and appeal to a paying audience. These sessions are considered pivotal moments in the history of country music. However, his producing journey didn't start there. Ralph Peer was a pioneering producer, not only in hillbilly music, but in other genres as well. When he used to work for OK Records, he produced the first recording by an African artist, Mamie Smith, called Crazy Blues, which you may remember from Chapter 11. Also in 1923, he was responsible for the first commercially released recording of Southern white music featuring the old-time musician fiddling John Carson. again for the OK label. His work as a producer and talented scout laid the foundation for the growth and commercialization of country music as we know it today. The Bristol Sessions are known as the Big Bang of country music. Between July 25th and August 5th of 1927, Ralph Beer of the Victor Talking Machine Company was making history. As mentioned in a previous slide, Ernest Stoneman was an influence to the recordings. As the recording equipment got smaller, the ability to go to the musicians for new material became easier. Beer conducted recording sessions using the new Western electric mic, during which 19 performers/groups recorded 76 songs. In 1998, the U.S. Congress officially designated Bristol, Tennessee, Virginia the birthplace of country music. In honor of the Bristol Sessions, there is an annual music festival called the Bristol Rhythm and Roots Reunion. This event celebrates the rich musical heritage of the region. It features a diverse lineup of artists from various genres, including country, bluegrass, folk, Americana, and more.
Bristol Rhythm and Roots Reunion is an amazing festival. Fans return year after year to be a part of the music and really enjoy our unique downtown.
As you take your long journey.
Whether you're sitting there with 20 people or 50 people or 50,000 people, you're still getting that great, authentic music experience.
The music at the festival really celebrates many different styles of music that are representative of our heritage.
Kitty Wells broke through a male-dominated scene, and honky tonk made room for the queen of country music. Her journey began when she auditioned for the Grand Ole Opry in 1949. Kitty impressed the audience with her powerful voice and unique style, and signed a record deal with Decca Records. Her first big song was a response called It Wasn't God Who Made Honky Tonk Angels to Hank Thompson's song The Wild Side of Life, which accuses women of faithlessness. Her answer song unlocked the door for a conversation about women's roles that later country singers like Loretta Lynn and Dolly Parton would swing wide open. In the poster on the side, you can see the name Honky Tonk Angels with Dolly Parton, Loretta Lynn, and Tammy Wynette listed underneath. It also features guest vocals by Kitty Wells. Here are the legends together. Bill Monroe, the father of bluegrass, grew up in a musical family and learned to play the mandolin at a young age. His distinctive style of playing, characterized by fast-paced picking and high-pitched vocals, set him apart from other musicians of his time. In 1939, Bill Monroe invented a new form of music called bluegrass. In order to preserve the old-fashioned flavor of pre-war hillbilly music, electric instruments and drums were not allowed. Bill Monroe also made a band called the Bluegrass Boys. This is a picture of them in the top right corner, and here is a video of them playing in their prime. Even though country music gained more popularity during the Bristol Sessions in Tennessee, Virginia, by the 1950s, Nashville was the undisputed capital of the country music industry. Nashville became the home of numerous song records performers, publishing homes, and record companies. In fact, it was the home of one of the most powerful radio programs, the Grand Ole Opry. This is why when most people think of country music, Nashville, Tennessee is the first place that pops up. After the Great Depression, there was a new image for country music. The singing bright man from the railroads turned into the singing cowboy. Cowboy hats and boots would spread through country music like wildfire. There was this fantasy now that intertwined with the music of this handsome cowboy, saving the day, playing guitar, singing songs, and winning the girl through music. Country music resonates with a lot of people, and over the years, country artists have continued to keep the genre of music on brand. Nowadays, when you attend country music concerts, you'll typically see the artist on stage with some country getup, a red solo cup, or an obscenely large margarita too if you're Luke Bryan. Whether the Alpha B boots, a cowboy hat, the Texas T tie belt, bell-bottom jeans, or maybe even the stylish western fringe. Sometimes with a guitar in hand too, depending on the song. You'll hear songs about home, pretty girls, heartbreak, love stories, trucks, beer, and whiskey, blue-collar, hard work, and life stories. These songs, combined with the different background tracks, can give the sense of home, comfort, and community, which I find enjoyable about country music. This is someone who I wanted to mention, but unfortunately won't have time to talk about.